Welcome to Wrexham for this incredible clash of the Northern Internationals fighting across through the British Isles. We have Wales hosting Ireland here at the racecourse ground. Ollie Parcher with Mitch Riles here. And Mitch, this is promising to be exciting one. A lot of teams that have got some new blood in there and an exciting clash on stick for us.
Yeah, absolutely, Ollie. Me Wales brethren out there playing today. I'll be watching up here from the commentary box and see how they go.
This is promising to be a very exciting one indeed. Of course, Wales with Jordan Lewis leading them out and Jack Carl, both of them with plenty of captaincy experience under their belt. And of course, Jack Carl returning to captaincy next SRL season, with Jordan Lewis stepping away. See how Luke Thompson here for Kimru will get things going for us. They'll be kicking towards the left of screen here. Ireland will be receiving the ball first, and it's Nathan O'Donnell to take the first. He takes one up here and tries to make his way through, but quickly brought down by two in the tackle. Carl out for O'Donnell. They're trying to swing it wide early on here. Trying to make use of those players on the wing with Ben O'Donnell. Swung back into the middle here with O'Donnell, and he gets collected in the first minute. Already a bit of international flare-ups going on here.
Definitely not what they needed. That's an easy get-out set for Ireland now to get some attacking pressure early in this game.
Yeah, essentially their first set of the game, and they're going to be able to take one from halfway here, sent over to Rogers. Rogers with a quick run through, and he ends up getting about 8 meters before his brought down. Corcoran to Carl, and he sends it out there for O'Donnell. Wide ball out for Callaghan. I don't think he was really expecting that one. But he ends up collecting it and being brought down just inside Wales 40. Kelly inside ball for O'Donnell. Great little step. Nearly gets the ball all the way. He does, in fact, to Corcoran, but he can't quite get through one last tackle. Tries to drive the legs forward to get inside the 10. Can't quite get there, though. And Wilson is quickly going to be brought down. They look on the fourth here to the right edge with Carl and now to O'Donnell. Two of them working well in tandem so far, and they're going to put some big pressure on this set. Here they go, about 10 out. They look to the left side again. Carl Hill swinger for Callaghan to put the kick in. It's well positioned here. Looks to be landing a couple meters short, and Jaden Garcia able to get high in the air and make that catch, but it will pin Wales right back here. See if he can put pressure on for a dropout. Not quite. Berkeley will swing it out to Dan Punch, and he'll take the run up the middle. I'll give him a little bit of breathing space to be able to work through here. Here goes Wally Allen. And Allen with some great meterage as well. Pushing up just about to the 20. Bennett with a nice step. Oh, Harris took it, surely knocked on. Nothing called, though. Perhaps it just came off the chest, and so they can't rule knock on. That must be the only reason for it, because that surely looked like it was off his hands. Either way, great take there. And will be a huge amount of pressure being piled on here. Here goes McKay trying to put himself through. Gets brought down to the 20. Callaghan out to Carl again. Good swing through the halves, and he'll get about 12 meters before he's brought down. And puts the Welsh on the goal line. I'll send it inside, outside. Inside rather for Harris, but he's brought down again. Another kick for them to defend. Let's see what we went last time. Last time was bomb left. We'll go to Carl, and Carl would like to go bomb right. Let's see who gets underneath it. Looks like Latrell Ball back here for O'Donnell. O'Donnell goes through, and I think Ball couldn't gather himself in time. Ireland go over for their first.
And that's just a compounding of back-to-back errors there. The knock-on gave Ireland that possession to put that pressure on again, and they've come away with points.
Yeah, I mean, it was just... Wales just had no real space to breathe thus far this game. You feel like they've just been suffocated out thus far. And Carl will be able to make a nice left to right kick, but it just goes in front of a post. And wide right there, still 4-0. But for these first 6 minutes, Wales have had absolutely no room to work. And Thompson is going to have to put them on the back foot again with this kick, because almost certainly there's going to be some concern about how much possession Ireland have had already. They basically only had 3 set plays, Wales. They have a penalty that gave them another set, and then they ended up coughing it up halfway through their first. So it's pretty much 0 for 1 to 3 for 3 in terms of completions.
Yeah, and that's not a good start at all for Wales. So they'll be hoping to turn that around if they're going to stay in this game.
Yep, they need it here. As here goes Wilmette. He runs through, and that pack might be tied in the middle already. They throw one out to Harris, and Harris is quickly brought down, though. Was good work from that catch-up defense, showing that Wales still have some hustle in them. Here goes O'Donnell. Through one, can't get through a second. Nearly around. Oh, might be holding down there, but nothing called. Corcoran will send it out for Callaghan. Callaghan, late ball there for Carl. Carl is driven back in that tackle. About 42 out from the line. Corcoran now feeds it out to Harris, and then Riff. Riff with a nice sidestep, tries to be dragged towards the line, but quickly works his feet back, gets it around, and now will be brought down about 35 out. Carl, he had to reach out for that one, and as such, I think his kick got rushed, and then it was a poor effort there. Brought down there about 35 out from the line. Now Bennett through, and he ends up getting to about the 45 before his brought down. Now to Desco. Out to Punch. Punch will be brought down right on halfway here. Tedesco now to Lewis. Lewis, the captain, with a decent run, and now putting Wales in Ireland territory for the first time in this match with 9 minutes gone. Bit nervy here, but Wales have shown they have a fight here in this set. Berkeley will take this one up, but it pretty much only means they'll go to Luke Thompson as a kicking option. And he was pretty far back. He goes for a high ball, but there's not much distance behind it. It's well taken though by Garcia. Garcia wasn't sure what he wanted to do with it, and as such, his brought down. And that hesitation means a handover back to Ireland.
Yeah, it's good that they can complete a set there, but they make that kick and there's nothing coming from it. The attack's not there.
Yeah, there are some positive signs, though. Garcia going up to take that one is pretty important because it's showing that he's able to go 2 for 2 thus far in that game. Is Corcoran now. Great little breakaway. He gets an offload out to Wilmette. He's brought down, though. And again, good defense from Wales after the breaks happen. Just are able to converge and make sure that they don't get completely broken apart. Here goes Wilson now, about 33 out from the line. We'll play for Harris. Just a quick one-up ball here. Allow both kicking options any way they want. They look to go here. It'll be Callaghan to put up another bomb left side. I don't know if they know where it is. Garcia again, however, makes a catch, and he'll get it to about the 10 and gives themselves a little bit of space, enough to get some breathing room here. Here goes Cody Ogg. Not much space being given to him that time around. He'll play about 15 out from his own line. Out for Lewis. Lewis, good tackle here. McKay does well, sweeping the leg there and making sure he gets underneath Jordan Lewis. Doesn't allow him any room to move. Here goes Allen. Allen trying to make a good trucking run here, and he does so well, but it might set up this 40-20 attempt. They don't go for that instead. It's just a quick handoff there for Lewis. Lewis with some good driving legs here. Gives him a little bit more space to work with, but likely the 40-20 coming. Thompson's attempt is high, and it's going to be well covered here by Dylan Sharp. The wingers were back in time. No real chance to catch them off guard there, as he'll be brought down just inside Ireland's 40. Kelly into acting half. Here goes Callaghan. Trying to look for an option here, but just decided to take it himself. Wilmette now, he gets a bit of a gap, and he's going to try and take it towards the left wing. Oh, that's a nasty landing there. Almost a hip drop there, but he looks to be okay. Corcoran now for Carl, and then Rogers. Rogers very distinct there with that pink hair. Trying to give them inside Wales red zone. Here goes Wilson. Wilson with a nice run here. A lot of agility being shown here by these Irish forwards. Let's see how they look on the last. Corcoran out for Carl. Carl puts in a grubber, but he doesn't get much on it. It pretty much just trickles down. In fact, didn't get a boot to it. Ruled knock-on advantage. It will be 0 tackle there for Bennett. Tedesco for Bolt. Bolt gets leveled there. And a hefty hit. I believe that was from the number 10 there of Ireland. Now here goes Flynn as loves that Wilmette shot. Flynn now getting an escape route. Oh, a risky ball there for Daniel Punch. Rogers had to come through with defense and does very well to bring him down. Tedesco now for Ogg for Garcia. Quick ball out to the right side. Garcia getting a lot of good meters here in this one. Keeping him in this. And Mike lead to Wales' first points. Here goes Ogg, and Ogg indeed gets one through. Wales get their first on the board. A fifth of the way through their game. They've tied it up and have a chance to take the lead with this kick.
Yeah, a beautiful line there from Cody Ogg. That hole was right there opened and he went straight through it.
Yeah, just perfectly picked them apart, really. Launching his way through, and as a result, Wales now have an opportunity to put themselves through. This is a relatively simple kick for Thompson, but I've seen these miss before. Not going to try and angle this one left to right. Does so beautifully. And no doubt about it, Wales will hold their first lead in this one, thanks to a great run of play that really is a surprising spark from that right edge. Usually we see the left edges be their real starting points, but Garcia and Ogg able to combine there and produce a try for them. Ireland look to try and retake the lead here, but they'll need to try and defend a Wales set from this kickoff here. Let's see what Carl goes for. He'll look to launch this one to the right side, as Thompson will field, and he'll let Jesse Bennett take the run up here. Wilmer and McKay both helping here on the tackle. We'll get him down just inside the Welsh 20. Thompson looking for punch, but nothing really doing that time around. Trying to find a little bit more space through this play. Tedesco will look for Allen, but good convergence here. And nothing really being given here to Wales this time around. Thompson for Bennett. Bennett trying to push his way through. This might be the 40-20 attempt just outside their own 40. They do look to Thompson. Thompson will put in the kick. Oh, but I think he was worried about a potential offside run. And as a result, it's knocked down by Wilson and taken clean. Now Callaghan able to put some pressure on Kelly with the step. He tries to push his way through. It's pretty much just dragged sideways. Tackled on the arrow of the 40. Callaghan to McKay. McKay through a gap. Trying to get to the left side. Oh, Rogers nearly got that one through. But Garcia, as soon as he got it, was handcuffing him. Wilson now out for O'Donnell. They try to push him to the edge. They can't quite do it. 5 meters out. 4 tackles gone. Carl trying to push his way through himself. He's just short of the line. They might go for a crash run here. Is that what they go for? It's Riff enacting half. No, he goes to Corker, and Corker puts the boot up. That's something you don't often see, but Riley Flynn does well to take it. They try and put him in the in goal, but great work by Wales. They just hold out here, but they might be in trouble. It looks like the forwards want to come off, but there's no real way for them to do so with how far back they are. Og to Tedesco. Now for Allen. Allen able to just get his way through, and it looks like they successfully made those changes. They got the fresh legs on. Let's see if they can make use of them here. Flynn, no for Morrison. And they'll look to go down the edge this time around, and they nearly get to midfield. But good coverage defense there. Rogers in, and it's the first mark of fullback here by the looks. If that might open the gap for Flynn here. Here goes Riley Flynn. He makes O'Donnell miss. He's gone. It's Wales with an absolute beauty.
Yeah, Wales taking full advantage of the fullback being in the line there. He just gets into the backfield and he's gone.
Yeah, it's almost miscommunication, really, because it looked like Rogers wanted to say first marker. Once you get that fullback in first marker, it's so difficult for them to back up the second play, and Riley Flynn saw it, took advantage, just had too much speed, and as a result, Wales are going to find themselves here with a 6, turning into 8-point lead with that Luke Thompson conversion.
The Ireland starting strong with all that pressure at the start, and after that, Wales have come back firing. So Carl gets us off to Flynn. Flynn goes over the Mobs. Mobs will take that tackle. He'll push over to the 20. Tedesco will play it to Berkeley. Berkeley plays it to Jeff. Jeff takes it up again in a 3-man tackle. McKay gets in there and takes him to the ground.
And well there as well. Yeah, apologies there. I think I just had a bit of a technical difficulty. Lost my microphone cable of all things. Yes, the Dragon has essentially been woken up here, but there just has a bit of phlegm cough up. As a result, Harris will end up scooping up the ball. 0 tackle for ruling, it looks. Namana for Rogers, and we'll get a nice opportunity here, Ireland, to try and hit back here after an unfortunate Wales error. Callaghan will swing it for O'Donnell. O'Donnell brought down there just outside the 20. He'll play it there for Corcoran. Corcoran will just be an easy ball for Callaghan. He goes Namana, though, and Casey Namana shredding right through. Wales didn't expect the speed from Casey Namana, and it ends up being an Ireland try. All too easy, really.
And that's a forward running through a hole and taking on 10 metres to score. Quite easy for him, too.
Yeah, just given way too much space and was able to take quick advantage, and Carl will be able to make this an easy 12-10 from there. Yeah, it seemed like before you had Riley Flynn just able to take advantage of a miscommunication, and I don't know whether they realized just how spread out they really were. Usually for those kinds of plays where you're getting that close to the line, you might want to try and tighten the defense a little bit more. But on that occasion, it was really good work by Casey Namana to take advantage of what space he was given. As a result, the bench forward has given Ireland, well, it's cut the lead of Wales rather from 8 down to 2. That missed kick from Jack Carl, the only difference thus far in this game. Otherwise on the scoreboard, it's been even. But the game flow has gone quite back and forth. Give him a run of play. Here goes Shackelford getting his first touch, but his met in a hefty 2-man tackle, and it's a very slow play of a ball. Rogers giving a very flat one there from Corcoran. Almost could have been a big panic there. Have they given up an error inside their own 30? Here's McKay on a 2-up. Can't quite go very far, though, and it ends up being not much for the effort of that play. Here's Carl. Carl swings across for Harris. Harris, nice inside ball for O'Donnell. Flynn, he had to be absolutely on his game there to make that tackle, and he ends up doing so just inside Ireland's half. Callaghan kicked from outside the 40. Reason enough to let that go, but Michael Crimp will take it. Of course, Michael Crimp dropped from the Australian squad in favor of Chris Lord, an Australian squad that was remarkably upset by the Mediterranean side just 48 hours ago. But here goes Allen. Allen looking to create a similar spark for his side. He ends up making Rogers miss. It forces another tackle here. Although fullback's out of position again. Berkeley, they spread it out for Flynn. Now for Morrison. Morrison, the step. Great coverage there, though, from Ireland. The Shamrocks just holding their own here. What can they do here on tackle 3? Berkeley now for Mobs. Mobs trying to crash over. He's just held there, and he elects to take the tackle rather than trying to crash over himself. Short ball for Lewis. Great tackle again there. He might have crashed over this time, though. We'll have to have a look. Okay, we'll look to the bunker here to make his decision. He thinks held up at first. Let's see. It's Harris and Wilmette, but it looks like that ball's down there. It's not the greatest of angles that we're being given, but that looks like ball on grass. It's got a nice rotation of a camera. Yep, left hand down. That looks good to me. All waiting to see whether the bunker have an official decision to make, though. And yes, it is. It's a great try there. And a great crash over as well. Not something that we would have expected. But as a result, Wales taking a 6-point lead and a try under the post like that. Just huge work for them as well, because it allows Thompson to make a much easier kick.
Yeah, that try is a result of miscommunication in the tackle. Harris has let go of the ball as the coach trying to take the legs out, where his other defender should have been doing that as Harris had the ball wrapped up.
Yeah, I mean, real captain's effort there as well from Jordan Lewis, as that one is an 18-10 with 12 minutes to play in this half. It's still going to be a very tight tussle here, especially if the way this has gone. It feels like it's been a bit of try ping pong. And while Wales, whenever they've been given an opportunity to go down into Ireland's red zone, it seems like they've been able to capitalize without much issue. But Wales were able to hold mostly firm, but still did let through points. But it's those efforts that I think are being recognized here by the Welsh side. Here's Caleb Jeff here with the first setup. Bolton to acting half. Allen will spread for Mobs. And Mobs now will just get to his own 20. Not much being gained here early on, but I'll just have to see whether they can activate their backs here. Get Riley Flynn moving. This time we Allen. Allen, good hit there by Christian McKay, dragging him back and just tackling him at his own 35. The desk go for Jeff. Oh, Jeff was too shallow a pass, and Kelly with a great snag, though Wales were attentive to that steal, and not much could be done about a runaway intercept. But here goes Dylan Sharp. Flynn of a tackle. Let's see. Watch what Flynn does here. Does he not learn from their mistakes? He hasn't. He's now going to be out of position. And now Carl will try and attack, but good work from the Wales line that time around. They're able to hold him down, but they held him down too long. And as a result, gives away a penalty. Doesn't seem like Carl wants to go make it 6, though. He decides that they want to go for the throat here and try and take advantage of this excellent field position they've been given with 6 red zone tackles. Here goes Rogers. Rogers brought down there by Og with some help in that tackle. Now played for Corcoran. They'll go short side right here. Carl for Shackelford on the edge. He's nearly able to crash through, but he's just about centimeters short from the line. Now to be played for O'Donnell. O'Donnell short ball for Carl. Carl dragged back and further away from that line. Now an opportunity to send it left. Or right, rather. Harris for Callaghan. Wales spread their defense left. A great work by Flynn to try and hold him up, but he might not have gotten him that time. No, ruled held up there. It looked like he was right in front of it to make that decision, and it's a crucial one because it means they got one last play. They try and go quick with Carl, but Carl couldn't get a kick away. And Wales survive a very difficult goal line set. And you can see how much it means to them. They are rallying behind this. Here goes Allen, but now Ireland will need to try and hold them off because this is one of those moments where you can feel so demoralized and know that you can get away with one. Here goes Caleb Jeff to Desco to Thompson. Now Flynn a step. Flynn trying to shed 2 tackles. Can't quite do it. See a couple of those Wales players warming up just at the bottom of your screen. Thompson now for Allen. Allen now past midfield. Trying to get himself through, but can't get past McKay. McKay was not squaring. He has to retreat. Thompson, however, on a 1-up, can't get very far. Doesn't mean they have to look for a secondary kicking option. I'll look for Latrell Bolt this time around, and Bolt with a booming kick. Well positioned there to not go into the goal. But now he goes Sharp, and Sharp on the kick return. They're trying to chase him down. I don't think they're going to get him. It's going to be coast to coast. Dylan Sharp, a huge swing for Ireland.
Yeah, and that's how dangerous Sharp can be on the wing when you kick to him. You don't. He's just cut straight past the defenders there and gone 100 meters basically to score that try.
Yeah, and it's also just on the kicking option of Wales. Luke Thompson takes it up on the last, meaning they call on Latrell Bolt to kick, but Bolt is usually their primary kick chaser of that kind of coverage, especially if they're kicking towards that wing. Weakening your ability to limit the chase down meant that you gave Sharp way too much space to operate, and he ends up taking advantage. Luke Thompson now with about 5 minutes to go will try and resume things. This has been a very back and forth affair. I feel like I've had to reiterate that point on several occasions, but these two teams that clearly didn't like each other from the opening bell have gone out and put on a great display of rugby league so far. Namina here taking the first hit up. We'll look to send Shackelford through here, and that time he does. And not a lot of help here for Riley Flynn, and as a result, some extra meters, but eventually does get Shackelford to ground. Corcoran's trying to jink Flynn there, trying to get him to be not square. Referee wasn't having any of that, though, and the tackle stand. O'Donnell to McKay, and now Callaghan. Callaghan trying to wrestle his way forward, eventually tackled right on the Welsh 40. Here goes Rogers. Rogers nearly through, but this is going to be an interesting decision point. How do they elect to handle this kick chase? Callaghan will just elect with a quick punt. It does find Crimp. Crimp with some space here, and Crimp might be on his way himself. He's got an opportunity to go all the way. Makes the man miss. Oh, it's a mirror image. Just as Ireland hit back, Wales with a death hook. And with 3 minutes left in the half, they go up by 6 with a chance to go up 8.
And just like that, Wales says if Ireland can score one from a kick return, we're going to score one from a kick return, and Crimp has answered that.
It's the exact same thing. And Crimp's the opposite winger there to Dylan Sharp. It just, as a result, means that, well, pretty much just blow for blow, and Wales maintain an 8-point lead at the moment.
Yeah, well, you see this scoreline. If this continues, this could be a very high-scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, we've already had 40 points with 2 minutes and change to go. Probably going to see some last-minute changes here. Try and perhaps get Wilson, Wilmot, Bennett, and Punch on. See what they can do. But it will have to remain to be seen. Yep, it seems like they're doing exactly that. Get Bennett and Punch on. See how they can operate on this final set. Lewis now out to Allen. Here they come now. Bennett and Punch getting themselves right in position. They'll look to go to that side, but it ends up being Bolt to take this run. But Bolt makes a man miss with a great sidestep and eventually tackled on his 40. See what they do here. Final minute and change to go. Thompson now for Flynn. Flynn, a risky ball here for Cribb. They aren't defending the edge at all. And Kelly, this is going to be close here. Was this taken into touch by Kelly, or was this a loose pass?
That's a very interesting one. And they've ruled it as Kelly's taken that into touch. So Wales will go on the attack here for the last 40 seconds of this half.
Yeah, and no advantage. And that also means I'm not certain. Did they get their substitutions away in time? Do they have Wilson and Wilmot on to defend this last opportunity? Probably not going to expect a field goal here. Give them a margin. Here goes Flynn, though. Flynn right through. They might just try and hold him down here for the final play. Can he get the play the ball off in time? No, he cannot. And we'll go to the half. Wales up 8. And welcome back here to the second half of Wales and Ireland. This has been an absolute bloodbath so far. 40 points in 40 minutes. These two sides have been at war with one another. And this British Isles clash will be one to remember. This final 40 minutes is anything to go by. Ollie Parcher, Mitch Riles with you as Ireland gets this one kicked away. Luke Thompson, very slow start here. And your Punch looking to get things started here. He takes one up. Oliver now into hooker here for the Welsh side. We'll give it over to Wally Allen, who looks to have remained in his spot. Of course, we get to see Eddie Oliver as well as Aaron O'Hare get their opportunities, though have to wait and see how exactly they involve O'Hare, as there was some confusion regarding instructions. And Bailey Monroe and Liam Evans making, I believe, one of their first appearances for the Irish side. Here goes Punch through a gap in the middle, though. He has to try and get past O'Donnell, can't do so, but it gives Wales some kicking options here with about 22 out, and O'Hare will run it up himself. He gives it up for Oliver. Oliver doesn't have the room to get the kick away. A hand over there. Ireland able to hold out that first set. Corcoran fires one for O'Donnell to start off their attack. Quickly brought down there, just shy of a 20. And over for Wilson. Wilson gets lifted and folded over. A heavy hit here from the Dragon. And Rogers trying to push his way through and get some good meterage of his own. Eventually brought down. Carl sends one over for O'Donnell. O'Donnell, loose ball, might have been touched. Evans just falls on it and decides, all right, I'll just take the run on myself. Looks to have been touched by Wales. So as a result, 6 more tackles here for Ireland. Again, we saw that they got the early pressure of the Irish side. Can they do the same here? Rogers fires one out there and just tries to push his way through, but is immediately forced back. Corcoran now for Carl. Carl spreads it wide for O'Donnell again. They try that same play and he beats one but can't get past a second. Right now for Corcoran. Callaghan. Just a quick short one-up run, and that's fine for him because it will be tackle 4. It does leave him available as a potential 5th tackle option, especially if he go 1-0 with McKay, and especially if he slices through, and especially if he positions himself right in front of a post 15 meters out. Plenty of options available from the kicking game, but they end up just hitting Evans instead. He did not get the memo, and as a result, it's just a quick run and a handover. Miscommunication again from Ireland, proving to be a brutal downfall, as that was a prime opportunity to score points, just gone to waste.
Yeah, well, Ireland definitely was in a good position there to put on a real good attacking kick and get some more points on this board, but they just chopped it up, and now Wales will get out of their set. They've made some changes, but I don't think we've seen O'Hare come back onto the field yet.
Oh, he did get that last touch. So he has been involved at the very least. Get to see instead Oliver now for Thompson, spreading it out for Mobs. Mobs will be tackled just outside of Wales forward. It will likely just the Irish 40, excuse me. Likely will just force for punt here. No, instead of just giving the punch. Punch ends up finding a hole though. Punch will just take the run instead and makes the best out of a dire situation and pins Ireland back in their own red zone and allows Wales just to set themselves. If they can't take a kick return, why not? Apologies for the brief blip of coverage there. Just a minor issue that we've thankfully been able to solve here. As now Bailey Munro, a quick run and a jink, and off he goes, and nearly to halfway. Eventually brought down, though, and a good tackle from Flynn. Has to get on a retreat quickly, though. A good work by the Wales defense. Ireland attack shallow. They didn't try to spread it wide this time around because they shut that out. And now they shut out the secondary option. Good defense here, but here goes Evans, and Evans nearly through. His pass for 30. Brought down about 26 out from the Wales line. Has another chance to score some points here, but Cowligan this time is the one tackled. So they'll likely look to Carl here to put the kick in. How do they elect to do that? I'll send it over to Harris. Harris will put the kick in instead, and he puts it right on the money here. Someone, please get on the football. Morrison eventually does. I think he was trying to play a bit of possum there, but Ireland was not fooled. And they did eventually have enough of a kick return game. It looks like they have finally. Then we get Jesse Bennett on as well. Looks like there was an emergency change to go with that. Here goes Lewis. Lewis right through. Lewis with a great finder. And he's nearly put himself past the Irish 40. Here goes Thompson now. Over to Berkeley. Haven't got to see much of him in the running game, but that time he ends up putting them just to the Ireland 30. Now they'll look to go left side here. Thompson, long ball out for Bolt. Bolt brought down well, though. Only a one-man tackle there, I believe that was from Callaghan. Might have been Carl involved, can't quite tell from here. Oliver will look for Thompson. Thompson will just put a little grounder ball here. Munro ends up swooping it up. Just takes a moment to steady himself and decides to take the line on, but nothing really coming of it. Corcoran now for Carl. Carl over for Evans. Evans brought down and pinned back inside the Irish red zone. Harris, good bring up here, and does get some decent meters, but Wales were on him almost immediately from marker. Here goes Carl, inside ball for Evan. They're trying to let him get really loose here early on. Not much being gained so far. They look for a kicking option here this time. No, it said it's a running option, and I think they caught him off guard here. It's Harris. Harris with a bit of a muscle ball, and as a result, it's forward. He basically tried to quarterback that one, and I'm not surprised they ended up calling it as such. Berkeley now, intercept immediately. Christian McKay, almost a ball don't lie moment there for Ireland, and I'm sure that'll really re-energize them. But now here goes Harris. Harris through a gap again. End up converging on him, though, free in the tackle, and it'll allow Flynn to retreat as it's going to be in second marker. Quick peel up, though. Could have perhaps been something called. Callaghan was still slow to retreat there, Riley Flynn. Thankfully, Wales were able to cover him off well. Corcoran now for Wilson. Wilson brought down about 12 out from the line. Flynn up in the line to try and make that tackle. Here's Corcoran over to Evans. Evans again with a lot of heavy touches early on. How does he end up responding here? For Welsh side. Carl, he took way too long. I don't know what he was thinking. He just ended up just being closed in on and ends up giving one away there. Another opportunity for Ireland goes begging. Allen on this first tackle here out of this Wales set. We did have another brief drop in coverage, but we should be just getting back up to speed here. Hopefully we don't see too much of that in the future. I think we might be okay. Let's see if we're getting the thumbs up from the production truck. Here goes Allen trying to make his way over past McKay, but a two-man tackle there will prevent it. Thompson now flicked out for Bennett. Bennett up to about the 47. Probably not going to be a kicking opportunity for this one. Lewis out for Berkeley. Spread wide for Punch. Punch not able to get much out of that, though. He's brought down 5 past their own halfway. Well, any halfway, really. Here's Berkeley to put in the kick. Looked to shape left, went right, and O'Donnell able to mark it clean. And well tackled there. Great work from Wales to bring him down out on the 12. On run now for Corcoran. Corcoran spreads out for Wilson. Also brought down just past the 20. Now Corcoran over for Rogers. Rogers, a pretty good run here. Getting some good post-contact meters. Now Corcoran, O'Donnell a nice step, and he gets through, and Flynn does well in coverage, just able to bring him down, but a good 25-meter run there for Nathan O'Donnell. Here goes Carl, now for Rogers. Rogers through a hole. They have to cover again. Flynn having to work tirelessly to get back to him. Now Ireland set up in the red zone. They haven't been in the red zone with this immediately on the last, and it might mean Carl could put in a good kick, and it might be just a perfect kick. It's a back, but Oliver's got it, but it's going to be dragged back in goal, and a repeat set for Ireland. And that time, they just walk in there, and they finally generate the pressure. Perhaps they're just overthinking things at the moment.
Yeah, the first time they've actually got something out of that last tackle option while they've been in that red zone. So we'll see if they build on that right now.
Indeed, it is. Evans again taking the first run. Trying to get him heavily involved, as we mentioned. Here goes Harris now through a gap. Does get a good offload away, but I think there might have been a hit off the ball. Bennett, however, just able to take it and pretty much just drags himself towards safety, even though I think it was way further out from the line than I think he expected to. Here's Og on the second run. They'll spread it now for Mobs. Mobs now getting just past the 20. And really, they were just off the back of a bit of an odd first play here, but ended up being tackle one. But Wales aren't going to get much meterage out of this set. And I think they're okay with that. They know they have a 2-score lead. They might as well try and hold it the best way they can, which is pretty much just ball control. The whistle played for Oliver. Bennett. It was another mix-up this time around for Wales. And it'll give Ireland a set in their opponent's territory. This could be an opportunity to try and finally score here, because it's just felt like they haven't had that real spark that led to that first 16 points that they've got in that first half. Just about to hit the hour mark in this one. Callaghan out for McKay. Had to reach back for that one, but does receive a ball at least. Nothing being given away here. Corcoran for Callaghan. Callaghan, he was the ball on the ground that time around. And Carl, crucial mistake. And right on the hour mark, Wales will make probably their last little set of changes. Was pending one last come on here for Locke. Here goes Thompson. Little short ball there for Mobs as they reset with some injection of speed into that forward pack, it looks like. Here goes Allen. Allen not really the one they'd be looking for that speed, but either way, he still gets into the 30. We go short side Ray this time with Tedesco, who does look to be one of those players that's come on there into that role. Crimp is brought down right near the sideline. Bolt out for Thompson. Thompson now for Allen. And, well, this will set up the 40-20 opportunity. The Stephen Wingers immediately in retreat, trying to stop them from getting anything out of that. Oliver will look for Thompson. Thompson with a great kick. It will force a bit of retreat here. In fact, it might have been perfect, but no, it doesn't have any kind of bounce toward the sideline. It stays in field. Dylan Sharp will take this one, and Wales is looking to hold on for his final 18 minutes. Here goes Callaghan. Callaghan just past for 30. And it looks like Ireland will make their sets of changes as well. It'll be Ryan Wilmette in, and he immediately inserts himself into the game. Nice offload there for Harris. Harris brought down just past halfway. We'll play it there. Corcoran out for Callaghan. Callaghan for O'Donnell. O'Donnell for Sharp. Sharp just brought down. Nothing too fancy there. Much as they're trying to spread it out to their wing and then trying to get them to make plays. There goes McKay trying to go up the middle. Doesn't look like it'll be any big result for a set here from Ireland, unless it could force a kick chase error, perhaps. Callaghan does almost pin them there, but Crimp as well to take it over run, and he got met heavily by McKay. And small body or big body, what else did you expect? Here goes Bolt. Bolt out to Tedesco. Tedesco doesn't get many meters there, though. Like Ireland again trying to amp up the defensive pressure. We saw them really do that in the first 5 minutes, but we haven't really been able to see them turn the crank as much as what we did then. They'll still have been able to find little escape routes, little breathing space. Over out for Bolt. Bolt to step, and Bolt nearly through. Got the offload away for Thompson. Thompson checks a tackle. McKay has to bring him down. Eventually they do get him. But Wales just with a little bit of an opportunity to get one away. Here's Bennett to put the kick in. What's one in for O'Donnell? O'Donnell a stab. He looks to go towards the sideline. He might be in too much trouble. It's over the line. Flynn and Sharp combine. And a huge defensive stop for Wales. What might have been 6 just got given the ball back.
Well, I was just about to say, as we've seen in the first half, these teams know how to score points. So it's been very interesting to see that their tries have been scored, but Wales having a great opportunity to do that right here.
Yeah, and really, it might have just been the defensive tool. We're just letting them through too easily on certain plays, and as a result, they've tried to go away from those plays, and pretty much it just resulted in a stalemate for these 26 minutes. They've absolutely played into the hands of Wales. They got the time on their side, and they've got another try on their side. It's Jaden Garcia through a gap, and just like that, they take a 12-point lead.
That's that advantage of that centre coming back on up prop. You get that extra speed straight in the middle of the field.
Yep, that perfect injection is exactly what they got from him. As such, Wales now for a chance to make it a 14-point lead with how close that was. And I'm sure the home fans will be absolutely delighted with this. The team that I believe had the shallowest player pool coming into this has suddenly gone up 3 possessions, though. 14-point lead, 14 minutes to play. Is there any way Ireland could come back in this one?
You would have thought if they were the first team to score in their second half, there might have been a chance. But now Wales have gone out to a 30-16 lead. It might just be a bit too much for them with what the time's left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I've always almost subscribed to the theory of if it's more than 1 point per minute, it's almost insurmountable. But of course, the time gap gets narrower and narrower. That might change just a little bit. Here goes Tedesco. They'll try and waste likely as much time as they can. Again, the focus on ball control. No big risks, though. A lot of big hits. As there goes Punch, and he hits the deck. Here goes Allen, though, right past McKay. He wasn't alert with that time around. Ooh, a risky ball and ruled forward. That's not exactly what I expected here. I think Allen just wants to put the foot to the throat. And, oh dear, that was a messy play there. Corcoran did end up felling a man, but nothing much otherwise. Nearly caught them offside as well. Here goes Carl. Carl will be forced back there in the tackle. Still into Welsh territory. Here goes Wilson. Wilson to Wilmette. Wilmette has a gap. Tries to put the fend on Flynn, but he just traps the arm. Gets them around. And that'll mean they're just past the 20. Here goes Rogers now. Rogers through a hole. Can Flynn cover in time? No, he cannot. And that might just keep them alive in this one. Liam Rogers scoring, making it 30-20 with a kick to come.
Yeah, when they got that forward pass ball, we knew that they'd have to score in this set if they wanted to stay in this game, and they've done that. So we go into the last, pretty much 10 minutes of the game, and it could be an 8-point difference.
Yeah, I mean, there might even be calls here from Carl to not take this conversion. But I suppose with 10 versus 8, you might as well just say, all right, well, got ourselves an opportunity here. Let's just see what we can do. Thompson, of course, will likely waste as much time off a restart clock as he can. Try and get them at least something going here. A great way to try and stop this rally here from Marley is just force an error. That's all you need. So you can force an error in his first 3 tackles, and suddenly you get the ball pretty much inside the opposition 40. You can just waste time. You can even go for a 1-pointer if you like. Give the ball back on the next kickoff set. Call for McKay. McKay will be brought down. Second tackle early on here. Not a lot being gained so far, but it might just be, the body blows to try and get that big uppercut going. Wilson now for O'Donnell. O'Donnell quickly forced back in the tackle. This might be 40-20 attempt here. Carl's surely going to be thinking about it at the moment, and so do Wales. McKay ends up being the one that received it. I think that's what they wanted to do, but we just say, nope, scrap it. We'll do it on last. That seems to be the intent here. Look where Callaghan are positioning. It goes to Callaghan. Callaghan, oh, I think it touched off of a player, and I think it set him off. And as a result, they end up giving away a handover. Exactly what you didn't want. Now Wales with a big opportunity here. Last 8.5 minutes. An opportunity to tighten the screws. I mean, if you go up 14, you might as well put the game to bed. Not much there, though. Looks like they're setting up for perhaps a short side Ray, but no, they had the numbers that side. So they just elect to go to Berkeley. Berkeley tackled about 7 short. We'll play it there for Oliver. Oliver swings Thompson, swing back outside for Punch. Punch will be just held up instead. Shrugs off a tackle. Oliver now out for Tedesco. Tedesco trying a crash play. He's only got 2 on him, but he'll be turned around. I don't think he'll get that ball down. Kay agrees. It'll have to be a kick on the last here to try and procure something out of this set. 7.5 to go, but you might as well try and just push the time. Thompson will put the high ball up as a result, just to waste a little bit more off the clock. Kelly, though, ends up coming down with it. There goes Kelly. Oh, he nearly got through Flynn and nearly was off for all money. But great coverage defense by Wales again. And it's just been what's kept them alive in this. Sharp breaks through 1 tackle, gets through another nearly, but brought down just to the 40. Kelly will swing it left side for O'Donnell. O'Donnell to step. Flynn has to cover once more. He gets good coverage defense as well, I believe, from Bennett. That means that he's brought down just inside Wales 40. Callaghan now, Wilmette, not getting much that time around. But they've just got pretty much coast to coast here, Ryland. This might be a huge chance to come back into this one. Here goes Wilson. Wilson brought down just in the red zone. What's the kicking option here? How do they set up for it? It looks like they're just trying to recommunicate. Corcoran, what are you doing? What was that? Patrick Corcoran just decides to play hero ball. Had no idea what was going on and just gives the ball away to Wales. Now Garcia through and nearly gives them another opportunity here. Last 5 minutes of action and Wales might just be home free here. If they could just wind this clock down, mean that Ireland would have 2 chances to score 2 tries. Not much left for them, is there? Thompson now for Tedesco. Ryder gets to play on that left edge. Again, just more about the clock. I'm sure they're just keeping an eye on it and probably counting down from 300 at this point. Here goes Punch, tackled inside Ireland's 40. If they could get a line break here, it gives them another opportunity to perhaps pin them back further. Thompson for Flynn. Flynn does just that, but it might not be enough here for where Thompson is. Who do they look to for their kicking option? They do go to Thompson. Thompson, a nice cross fielder. Is there coverage there in time? O'Donnell, he gets a step though. He might be clear. Riley Flynn, can he cut the angle down? No, he can't. O'Donnell's clear again with 3 minutes to go. Ireland are right back in it.
Yeah, Ireland, they scored that one, and that's exactly what they needed. So they've got 3 minutes to take this game away from Wales. They'll receive the ball from the kickoff, as we see Jack convert that for a 2-point difference.
Yep, and now Wales know they have to be disciplined as well. This might be the last set though. With how much time is going to tick off the clock here for this restart, we'll have to monitor that. How much time will they actually have? Will they have a second crack of this cherry? A huge opportunity to cause an amazing comeback, a 14-point lead, the most dangerous lead in football. Can Ireland find a way to come back from it in the last 14 minutes of this game? Callaghan out for Riff. Riff the first recipient. Riff will be brought down just inside his own 20. Corcoran to the left side with Rogers. Rogers quickly handcuffed though, but his legs will just continue driving as much effort as he can put in. Looks like they're going to let this last 15 go. Here goes O'Donnell. O'Donnell's too close. O'Donnell goes over the line at midfield, and you just see the jubilation from the Wales supporters. They cannot believe that. Ben O'Donnell forced it a touch and 190 seconds now for Wales to hold on. Can they survive? They just got to hold on for these 5 tackles. They're spreading it too much, in my opinion, but they have got down now to the final minute with these 2 tackles. That might be enough to survive here. Flynn trying to get to the 30. He's just able to get there with a 3-man tackle. 40 seconds now. Oliver Thompson out for Berkeley. Berkeley wrapped up by Rogers. Eventually bring them down. 23 seconds left. Punch for Allen. Allen's through. Allen might just try and get the hold up. That's all he needs. It's 8 seconds. 7. Hold up called. Do they call time off here? What's the play here for Wales? Just put one into the air. Don't let them get anything out of this. 5 seconds left. Thompson, ball's loose. Here goes Wilson. Wilson's wrapped up by Flynn. It nearly went all right for them, but Wales survive an instant classic.
Now that could have been really interesting. Loose ball on the ground, and a forward comes up with it. That was so close to being very dangerous.
If that had been O'Donnell, if that had been Carl, but it had to be the 80 speed Bailey Wilson. Wales, they had 9 errors that game. They looked dead for all money going into this, but they found a way back. An unbelievable finish. A game you'd expect Ireland to win, but really evenly matched. And that one kick missed proves all the difference. One has to imagine, how do those plays change if that's 30-30 instead of 30-28? I mean, Wales would have had an opportunity for a match-winning field goal. When would they have gone for it? You can only play the hypothetical so much. A game like that, oh my word. 37 line breaks to 26. I mean, I'm not certain on how true that is, but if that's definitely how the game felt, it was breakneck pace. And in spite of all the stats looking like they're going against Wales, they get one over on Ireland. Let's take a look at the stats of this one. I mean, Wally Allen, of course, I mean, playing at number 11, you're unsurprised. Riley Flynn, I do think he missed a couple tackles, but 5 line breaks on 14 runs. That's what you'd expect out of a fullback like him. Some pretty solid work all told. I mean, Jaden Garcia, 12 tackles and unmissed. That's impressive work from him, and have a try assist and a try of his own. And some of it started in the centers. It's not something you'd expect a lot out of, but fair play to him. He has done immensely well in that role. We may see a bit of a mess there. We did have a fumble with the interchanges, and as a result, Arrowhead did get less minutes than intended. Caused too much of a fuss, though. Thankfully, I think everything's worked out again. He did at least get his minutes, so we'll also cop some blame for that. Let's flick over to Ireland and see how they did. I mean, one thing that I'm noticing here is the kicking game just didn't seem to be there as much. I mean, Jack Hull, I think he only put in 2 bombs. He never really went for many playmaking kicks, and as a result, didn't really have that much impact for Sharp and O'Donnell, shredding through defenses. We saw that work well for the Mediterranean. Didn't work out too well for Ireland at that time. I mean, this is one, if you're the Irish side, you absolutely think we deserve to win this one. It should have been us, but instead you just gotta be sent home, licking your wounds, and have to regroup for your next match. I mean, it's really just a story of how much of that back three, like all of them went over once, but should they have gone over a second time? Did O'Donnell's error a minute to go really cause that issue? There'll be a lot of talking points there. A lot of disappointed Irish travelers that had made it here and just thought, should have been us.